The question you should ask yourself is, how into video games are you? Because me, they've been a passion of mine since I was just a wee little kid. But I don't just collect everything I see. Every single coaster, picture, painting, stuffy, game, it's got its own story. It's all true to myself, personal, and super nostalgic. I went from sweet ass game room at my old house, it took me like 7 years to build it from scratch, to unfinished basement in the new one. Holy shit, I'm greasy. But I'm doing the best with the tools at hand. I got the retro side of the basement looking all 90s and shit. And the modern side looking all 2017 till present. Everything in here was either made by me, bought with gift cards, given as gifts, or just taking advantage of those sweet, sweet baby deals. Marketplace. Which brings me to the point of today's video. I got a lot of loose retro video games that are unboxed, just crapifying my shelves. It looks terrible. What happened to the boxes? I don't know, maybe my mom flushed them. Anyway, I'm stepping away from the AI gaming controversial documentary history stuff that I usually do to share my personal experiences, both the good and the bad, with the games that I cherish the most. There's some bangers in there and there's some duds. There's a lot of duds in there. Inside this corrugated prison, I have 21 new homes for my retro video games, at least some of them anyway. Some of the games haven't been inside of a box in about 35 years. There's a Minecraft player joke in there somewhere. Regardless, as Captain Tennille once said in Most Extreme Elimination, let's get it on. DuckTales on the Nintendo Entertainment System. Oof. If you grew up in the late 80s or early 90s, this show wasn't just a cartoon, it was a religion. You go to church on Sundays and you watch DuckTales at 4 o'clock. Now, I never went to church on Sundays, let's be honest here, but the Ducks were definitely on the TV, and I remember vividly waking up early Saturday mornings before X-Men or Animaniacs with my Mighty Max PJs on, grabbing myself a pack of Pop-Tarts, throwing on the NES, and losing myself for an hour with this masterpiece. That 8-bit track on the title screen that was like a sleeper cell signal for me, that's for sure. Did you know that Disney almost didn't allow Capcom to even use the track? Yeah. All aboard the shite train if that didn't happen. Holy smokes. It's got everything, though. Excellent controls for platforming. The pogo stick cane felt amazing. It's like you're actually bouncing on the enemies. The whole game had the right amount of progressive challenge, and it was fantastic. Now, I will say, though, that these fucking bees in the Amazon level at the beginning, they turned a boy into a man right quick. If you got past them, you didn't lose any lives, you were pretty solid for the rest of the game, I would say. By the way, comment below if you like this kind of video, and I can totally do a full-length video of my collection. Oh, multiple videos. Let's make that happen. Anyway, on to the next. Lion King on the Super Nintendo. What the hell do you think I'm going to say about this thing? The giraffe head jumping level? Yeah, absolute crap. I just can't wait to be king. More like I just can't wait to go out Mufasa style, trampled by some ugly-ass deer. I wanted to give it a go. So Lion King, it's my favorite of all the Disney movies. But this game was like a cactus butt plug to my ego as a kid. That said, basically the same game. I would recommend the Lion King on the Game Gear. Now that one, challenging? Yes, but it's much more manageable. Although it has no continues, so if you make it to Scar and you have like 1 or 2 lives left, you're pretty much cooked. I don't know why I remember this, but my mom thought it was funny that when you press the start button, it says pause on the screen, but like an animal pause. I don't know, I thought that was kind of clever, but way better than the Lion King on the Super Nintendo. Highly recommend not picking that up, but if you do, you know what you're in for. Diddy Kong Racing on the Nintendo 64. Now, was it better than Mario Kart 64? I don't know, man. You can fly, sure. I mean, you can hovercraft, yes. You can be this guy. Of course you can, but I don't know. I don't think the controls were as smooth as Mario Kart 64, and the level graphics weren't as eye-catching. It's just my opinion anyway. Now, it does better things than Mario Kart in some aspects, but getting together with the boys, still to this day, we're ripping Mario Kart every time. Diddy Kong collects dust like my grandma's ham cave, okay? This one's a little controversial, of course, so let me know in the comments if you agree. Is Diddy Kong better? Is Mario Kart better? You let me know. Super Mario All-Stars on the Super Nintendo. A lot of supers in that one. I remember seeing this game for the first time at Alex McMillan's house at one of my very first sleepovers. First time I ever had bold BBQ Doritos as well. I was fantastic. Now, I never experienced my NES games in anything but their original 8-bit graphics. Seeing them upgraded for the first time and being able to play them in what essentially was the 90s version of 4K, I was truly mesmerized at the time. I also remember the next morning, my dad picked me up and I said, "Dad, there's this game. I want to get it. It has Mario in it." He basically told me to piss off and get a real job. Now, I only had this game because it was part of my wife's collection, but I definitely should have been picking that up when I was a kid. I would have loved it. Yeah. On to the next. The Black Box Golf game on Nintendo Entertainment System. I'm just going to say NES from now on. I think you all know what I'm talking about. Let's be honest here. This game nibbles my nuts. This straight up sucks. I would rather have a St. Bernard take a messy dump on my face than play this thing again. Now, I would love to say it's in comparison to modern golf games, but there are far better golf games out there at the same time. I remember playing this game no more than 3 holes every single time I did. Why I bought a box for it, I don't know. It's not even the right box. It's a different golf game, but they're both trash. I mean, I'm just going to flush this thing. Chess Master on the NES. Now, my dad was a big-time chess guy. He believed the game would open your mind and make you smarter. Now, I don't think he's wrong, but he made me play this thing quite a bit. And I gotta say, it's not a bad game. As far as chess games go anyways, it was a simple, straight to the point, difficulty settings were accurate. I mean, when I'm 8 years old, I'd rather be ripping Zelda or Mario. And to be honest, besides DuckTales and Zelda 2 in my collection, I would go as far as saying the title screen song for Chess Master, it's up there as one of the best. My favorite anyway. It's called Take 5 from the Dave Brubeck's band. I gotta look that one up, but see this Chess Master guy in the front cover? I'm guessing he's long dead right now, but I really hope they played that at his funeral because it's deserved, okay? It's what he's known for. So let's give him that. RoboCop on the NES. One word. Tough. First level, no problem. Second level, it's getting there. And after that, what the were they smoking? Can we get some bullets for my gun too? Like, how annoying is weapon conservation? It's fucking RoboCop, for Christ's sakes. Like, let's go here, people. It used to be on cable TV all the time during the 90s. I watched it tons, and I just wanted to shoot up baddies all night long. You're forcing me to punch people who have unlimited bullets, you fucking jizz mop. You can't even jump. You can't even dodge them. Like, what are we doing here? On to the next. NHL Stanley Cup on the Super Nintendo. Another wifey collection game. Thanks, babe. I appreciate you bringing this into my collection. I did play it, however, and I'm a huge Power Play 98 guy in the PS1, and that's far superior to this shite. Just awful. Once again, I don't even like sports games that much, and this is why. If you see NHL Stanley Cup at a garage sale for $1, don't you fucking dare, dude. Just get the hell out of there. Star Tropics on the NES. Let's go. Finally, we get another one here. It's one of my favorite games on the NES. Similar to the Zelda series, but it has that island vibe. You get a sword? No, you get a yo-yo, but still, you still kick ass with it. It's fun. It's super fun. It's got catchy music. It's got dark and scary points too. It's not just a fun island vibe, but I played this thing all the time throughout my childhood, except for one thing. Till this day, I have never been able to get to the second island. Not once. I don't know what the hell to do. I would get to a point where they tell you to go to a graveyard, look for the Southern Cross. Okay, found the graveyard, did it. You move a gravestone, you fall into the cave, it's pitch black, perfect, did it. Perfect. Pretty standard stuff for adventure games. A lot of pitfalls, a lot of enemies. Once you do it a couple times, you know where they all are, so it's not a problem. Now, that being said, you eventually make your way out of the cave, and dude, I played this game hundreds of times, always getting to the same point. That's it. You go back, and then you got to go back in. Like, where the do you go, dude? Where are you going? Don't tell me to Google it either. If a 10-year-old can beat that game, a 30-year-old can too. I got to make that. Devious on the NES. Ugh, dude, I called this thing Xvious up until about a year ago when I was watching another YouTube channel talking about it. Just dumb. Did I just not read it? I don't know. Regardless. I grew up after the arcade scrolling shooters, and I was more of a platform, adventure, beat 'em up kind of guy, as I'm sure you've guessed. Xevious was surprisingly fun. It was challenging as hell once you get past the first level, but it was very addictive because every time you play it, you think you can get further and further. Usually you can, but the fact that there's no save, fucking pricks on that end. But regardless, you see this guy at the garage sale for $5. I would go ahead and buy it. If you enjoy playing retro games, you should pick this one up. Majora's Mask on the Nintendo 64. Where the frig do I begin with this one? My parents, they got the PS1 when it first came out, so I didn't have the ability to own this game. But at the same time, every day after school, I would be at my buddy Chris's house. He lived right across the street. Before practice, summer vacation, I'd be at his house just shredding this game for weeks, for hours on end. I'm sure you can imagine or maybe relate. Not to mention at recess time. Oh my God, people will be talking about this thing like it was the second coming of Christ. But I cannot say it is my favorite game for one reason. That frickin' clock. Oh my God, there's 3 things in video games I dislike the most. Number 1, swimming levels. Number 2, traveling back in time to do the same shit you already did. And number 3, having a countdown to finish a task. Shut the hell up. Just let me play the frickin' game, you piece of shit. Regardless, you can change the time when you get to a certain stage of the game, but my God, if you can't figure that out at the beginning, it's one-way ticket to Shitesville, I'll tell you that much. Alright, I can't be making 45-minute videos here. Let's cut it off. I got part 2 coming next week, and I got some freaking bangers you're not going to want to miss. So tune in, hit the bell, subscribe, and yeah, thanks for stopping by.